Hey VC, Big Star 1000. Back here after a few months of not making videos. Not sure if it's a return. I'm not even sure if I'm going to post this at this point in time. It could just be a sketch. But I don't know. I felt you know, wanted to make a video. Two things happened in the past few weeks. One was that Chris 4127 Basket, sent me a big VCLT package, and that was just really awesome. And that reminded me how good the VC used to be and what it, what it was about. And secondly, I had a meeting with James Buttery and Anthony Camplone probably 2 3 weeks ago, and that was amazing too. I mean, I hadn't seen these guys for well, ever since I stopped making videos. Basically, I sort of when I exited the VC in that period, I well, there's no such thing as a VC really. I mean, there's no rules or there's no the VC is anything. It's just the YouTube vinyl community. But I guess whatever that means, anyone's free to make videos or not make videos. But when I sort of decided not to make videos anymore, I also just cut myself a little bit from all things related to that. Didn't buy as many records as I used to. I did other things. I got into painting, woodworking. Yes, I mean, I'm making boxes out of wood and stuff, and really different activities that just took me out of being, you know, on screen, and I just, to be honest, it ain't what it used to be. I know you think I'm talking like an old bastard, and it's my grey hair there, but it's true. The VC used to be something formidable, really, and now it's just seems like anybody with a camera and a handful of records is prepared to make a video. But my opinion, and this is gonna annoy people, but and I've always been like this. It's not a new thing, but it's not because you can that you should. Um, I think you should make videos if you have something to bring to the conversation. Um, but if it's just to show the same 5 records that everybody's got, just to show that you've got them as well, um, you know, social media has brought this, it's like a megaphone that people are carrying around. Oh, look at me, I can do this, and look at me. It's not necessary. It's not, you know, you know, bring something new to the conversation. Yes, that's most certainly. Anyway, I'm going to start. This is 20 odd records that I I've been listening in the last 6 months. I mean, basically the sort of things that I return to the most often. There's not very many jazz records. I just want to warn you, if you see some jazz, you will not very much. Most of this is based around the sort of you know 78 to 84, 85 time period. Lots of post-punk and sort of art pop of that time. Obviously, like every man and his dog, I've been listening to a lot of Bowie since he passed, and an album that I've connected with, more than others is has been Station to Station. I don't know. I started revisiting my copy of this record, and uh, I really I really loved it. On the same, I'm not going to show you. It's there behind me, but I really got into The Next Day, which is this second last album, and obviously Black Star, like everybody. But I mean, that was a shock to everybody. But I'm not going to spend 5 hours talking about Bowie. You all know who David Bowie is, and There's no mystery. He's a huge performer. I've been digging this record by Kate Bush, The Dreamin'. Again, something that I've revisited and had in my all these records I've had in my pretty much in my collection for significant amount of time. This 10 years or more. I don't know. This is a fantastic record. In my opinion, at the moment, is my favorite Kate Bush record. Just so dynamic and just a beautiful, arty pop record. What can I say? She could be the greatest. I mean, I always go back to Talking Heads in one way, shape, or form, and with such great bands, like if you talk about Bowie or Kate Bush or the Talking Heads or quite a few of these artists that I'm showing you here, your favorite album tends to change over time. It's sort of, for the longest time it was Remain Light, and then it became Fear of Music, and now my current favorite album is More Songs About Buildings and Food. And it used to be my favorite album a few years back, and it's again moved. This is a spectacular piece of New York, post-punk. I guess that's all I can say about it. It's not really, it doesn't sound like anything else. It's and Brian Eno's touch is brilliant. Again, same with this artist. With Captain Beefheart, sometimes Safe as Milk will grab me more during periods of time, and Mass Replica will do that too. But in the last 6 months, I would say I would played Clear Spot more than any other Captain Beefheart record, and I just love this record. It's probably his most accessible, most melodic, most soulful record, really, by a country mile. Really, it's fantastic, from 1972 on Warner Brothers and Reprise Records. This also has been featured quite a lot in my current list, like in my recent listening stack. The Mighty Animals by what's that band called again? The Beatles, right? No, the Rolling Stones. Yes, that's right. It's, to me, at the moment, the best Pink Floyd album there is. I think I told the story. I used to live just opposite this in London, Battersea. I used to commute past it every morning when I lived in England. Speaking of which, Brexit, scary shit. Okay. I bought this reissue in the last few months. This is the fantastic second album by second or first? I don't know. They got 2 albums. I think it's the second album by English band This Heat, fronted by Charles Haywood, famous for being in Quiet Sun, amongst other things. Wonderful reissue on Light in the Attic. I mean, I think to get an original of this it's a really hard task, I think, and an expensive one too. So props to Light in the Attic for reissuing this. I had those on CD and I upgraded for some vinyl copies of them. It's excellent post-punk. Most highly recommended. This I played the shit out of this for the last few months. I think this is the first Talk Talk album I ever got. I got this in 2003, and it's the one that I love the most by far. It's a beautiful, beautiful pop meets avant-garde rock. It's a bridging record basically, because Talk Talk, as you probably know or don't know, made 5 records. The first 2, which is The Party's Over and It's My Life, are the poppy Talk Talk, very very likable music, just really, it's really superb. And then The Cold Spring is the bridging record between the pop and then the last 2 records, which Laughing Stock and Spirit of Eden, sorry, yes, which are the sort of post-rocky. That's the middle record, and I think that's the one that is most satisfying to me. You know, Happiness is Easy, I Don't Believe in You, Life's what you make it, and the side B, I mean, Living in Another World and Give It Up. Oh, it's just, what a gorgeous, gorgeous album. Mark Hollis, genius. The different register. This is something I've been playing the last two weeks a lot. I don't know, just don't know why. Milton Nascimento and No Borges, the Corner Club, Clube da Esquina. Really fantastic double record of the best of Brazilian music, really. I mean, just the songwriting on it is, you know, it's all the cool and clever Brazilian sounds rolled into one album in the 70s. It's just, you know, it's essential. Here is a recent purchase which I've really been enjoying. It's the latest album by The Drones, a band from Melbourne, Feeling Kind of Free. And I've been enjoying this online for quite a while. And when I met with James Battery and Anthony Camploni the other day, we went record shopping and this was there. So I grabbed it, and it's just a great album. I don't like The Drones overall. I mean, I've seen them live a few times, and I never really enjoyed any of the previous records. I just haven't. But this, it's got some really amazing songs. The atmospheres are great. The lyrics are brilliant. There's a friend of Christian Mizzy Sarano who produced this record, Aaron Couples, I think. He might talk about it, I don't know. But it's a very cool record, very highly recommended. A few months ago, I got this reissue on Drag City of this minimal sort of abstract electronic record from Portugal called Plux Cuba by a guy called Nuno Canavaro. This is like Boards of Canada, but in 1988. If you can imagine Boards of Canada, this is a very high recommendation. You can get this quite easily on Drag City. I most recommend this record. It's abstract electronic music made by a Portuguese dude, fairly obscure but very cool. Speaking of great electronic music, this is a French record that was reissued by Superior Viaduct a few months back. Illich, this is a French band, 10 Suicides, just most excellent sort of Helden-esque, if you like, Kraftwerk, Helden-esque, but sort of more industrial at the same time. Maybe Helden and Throbbing Gristle rolled into a band, if you like, if that makes any sense. This is on Superior Viaduct. I very highly recommend this record. I mean, everything that I'm showing you here, I highly recommend to you. It's just goes without saying. I wouldn't have it. Well, I'll stay with France. Here is a superb compilation which I've had for for quite maybe a couple of years or something, but I've been playing it quite a bit. Dirty French Psychedelics, which is on Born Bad Records. And this is an absolutely fantastic comp. If you want to get into French 70s, late 60s, 70s, psychedelia mixed with French chanson, you've got Christophe, Bernard Lavillier, Brigitte Fontaine, Dashiell Edayat, Cortex, Nino Ferrer. I mean, it's just the best of the best. Alain Kahn, François de Roubaix. This is an absolutely amazing compilation. Maybe one of the best compilations that I have, and I do have a few, so it's quite some statement. Okay, I've been digging this reissue by the Replacements. I've been meaning to buy Let It Be for years and years. I've had it on CD. I know it very well. I love the Replacement, and they've reissued this year, so I was really happy to just grab this. It's a fine reissue on Rhino. Highly recommended. My second favorite Replacement records after Pleased to Meet You. Pleased to Meet Me. Sorry. The other day when I saw Anthony Camplone, I was trying to sell him this record. I said, you got to buy this record. This is amazing. There was a copy at his local record store. This is Nightclubbing by Grace Jones. What to say about this lady? She just, this is a winner from start to finish. It's a very thin, I think, Australian press. It is. Recorded at Compass Point with the band, my word, Sly Dunbar on drums, and obviously Robbie Shakespeare on bass, and this guy here. This is a good segue. Wally Badarou plays on this record on synth. This guy is a French synth player. He's played on lots of things. I mean, he was in the Compass Point orchestra, so he's played on lots of things. This is a solo album. This is like a piece of African abstract electronic music. And if you want to sample this Mambo by Wally Badarou, is basically Daydreaming by Massive Attack. If you know Daydreaming off Blue Lines, it's exactly the same. I mean, I haven't even sampled it. They just used the song and lifted it off directly. The Wally Badarou from Benin, but French African guy, and I've been playing that quite a lot recently. And speaking of African records, this is a record that I've reached for quite a bit recently. William Onyebo, with the compilation by Luaka Bop. If you are going to buy one thing by William Onyebo, this is a worthy purchase. It's excellent. Staying on sort of African, well, although this is Caribbean, this is an absolutely fantastic, just really dynamic reggae records. It's just unique. Just go sample that our Peace and Love. I don't know how to explain it. It feels like a Massive Attack record at times, but without all the treatments and the effects. It's just a piano, a bass, and drums, and him singing. It's just amazing, this record. Some classics. I mean, these are records that I have loved and championed and cherished for many years. Underwater Moonlight by the Soft Boys, which is an absolute amazing sort of marriage of post-punk and psychedelia. Imagine Pink Floyd rolled in a meeting. A meeting of, no, maybe it's the wrong choice. Pink Floyd is the wrong choice. Maybe Soft Machine meets pill or something, you know, and you've got the Soft Boys. No, it's probably the wrong comparison, but you get my drift. My favorite, I guess, my favorite records of the past year is probably Steve McQueen by Prefab Sprat. I mean, what a monster! What a monster of records, and I've played this probably more than anything. It's also because my wife loves this record too, and she reaches for it in the collection all the time. So that's probably why as well. Another all-time favorite classic is Pink Flag by Wire. I've been selling records on Discogs quite a bit in the last few months, and this is something that I bought with money that I because I had the CD, and this is something I really wanted. This is a first UK press. It's even got the HMV sticker. It cost £3.85 at the time. It didn't cost me £3.85. I can tell you that much. It was a bit more than that, but you know, when you love, this is a fantastic post-punk record. Maybe that's why I meant Soft Machine and Wire, the Sub Boys. And I'll finish with my techno segment. No, techno. Basically, I've been reading quite a few books on the story of techno, Chicago house music, Detroit techno. I just got interested in it. I've watched a few documentaries. I've read a few books, and here is a record. This is Cybertron, which is not the Australian Cybertron, it's the American Cybertron, which is blank. Juan Atkins, one of the Belleville Three, you know, three guys who basically invented or perfected the Detroit techno. Juan Atkins, Derek May, and I've got blanks this today. I know what I'm talking about. And Kevin Saunderson, sorry. And this is one of the first projects by Juan Atkins, Cybertron. It's kind of a studio band. When you listen to this, you've got the impression that you're listening to UK synth pop from the 80s, except that this is made in the late 80s. It kind of feels like a throwback. You know, you're expecting to hear something that's a little bit more, you know, techno-y, as you imagine techno to be. But this is a very fine record that wouldn't sound out of place next to this, because in sound they're very related. In fact, Mr. X, which opened side 2 of Vienna, could be on Cybertron quite easily. It's that close in sound. It's just uncanny, but it's not a bad thing. So I've been playing Ultravox a lot. And I remember reading when I was reading about Detroit techno, that the two main influences of Detroit techno were Funkadelic and Kraftwerk, especially those records. Autobahn has been featuring a lot in my playlist in the last, I don't know how many weeks, but so was Funkadelic. It's a nice way of ending this video, because I want to wish all the best to the family of Bernie Worrell, who died 2 or 3 days ago. The man who basically invented the P-Funk sound and the G-Funk sound as well. You know, no Bernie Worrell, no Snoop Dogg. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Discuss. I think it's a good thing. But the album that I've played the most by Funkadelic recently was One Nation Under a Groove. But this is Kraftwerk. Maybe Kraftwerk is the band that I've sort of got the most into in the last few months. I don't know. I'm just saying this about everything. All right. So 25 minutes nearly. I mean, I think, you know, if you want to watch it, you watch it. If you don't want to watch it, it doesn't cost me very much, just a little bit of time. yeah, talk to me. Don't be a stranger.